The following is a presentation of the Spartan Media Network.
Welcome to the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense on the Spartan Media Network.
Throws the home run ball deep. Dick Marsh at the 10-yard line of Maryland. Angles to the right pylon. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, MSU. Childs takes a shotgun snap. He'll keep it. He has daylight. He's inside the 5. On his feet into the end zone. Touchdown, MSU. Here we go. Back comes a little bit of a high snap. The kick is up, and it's good. Spartans win.
The Jonathan Smith Show is also brought to you by MSU FCU. Spartan fans, dream big with MSU Federal Credit Union. Meyer, supporting hundreds of sports teams across the Midwest. Coors Light, choose chill. Dean Trailways, the official ground transportation provider of Spartans Athletics. And Michigan's premier motor coach company. Make Dean Trailways your favorite ride. One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. And Alumni Hall, your ultimate Spartan shopping experience. Now, let's join our hosts, Otis Wiley and Dalton Shetler.
Hello, all, and welcome to the Coach Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. We are live at One North Kitchen and Bar in East Lansing. If you want to join our audience for any of the MSU Coaches shows, make your reservation by emailing coachesshows@onenorthdining.com. I'm filling in for George Blaha, who's tipping off the 50th season on the mic for the Detroit Pistons here tonight. It's so really impressive. Really cool thing. We also have, as you could tell here in person, a really busy table up here on the stage. We're going to get to some of the introductions for the people joining us on the radio. We have the general manager of Michigan State Properties, Playfly Sports, and Spartan Dog himself from 2005 to 2008, Otis Wiley. Give a nice warm welcome.
Thank you. Man, it sounds good. The name just sounds good. Otis Wiley, I haven't heard that in a long time on the radio, man. So it feels good.
Get used to it. We have, of course, the staple to show up here, head coach Jonathan Smith. Give him a nice warm welcome as well. How we doing?
Yeah.
Doing
great.
Good?
Doing great.
And joining us here on stage, that the folks obviously in house can see, but the folks on the radio be introduced to, the Hall of Famer, Tom Izzo is in the building. Tom, how are we doing?
Good. I'm doing good, guys. Big week for us. This is my 43rd Michigan State game, and I haven't missed one home game, and I missed a couple down there. You know, it's my kids were young. It was no fun bringing them down there and taking all that abuse. So I missed a couple, and then but I've seen some good ones both ways too. So this is going to be a good one this week.
Well, and we have a lot to get to during this show. We're actually going to have a couple of Spartan players come out. Alex VanSumeren will join us. We're also going to be joined by the captain, Jordan Hall, as well. So a really busy hour coming your way. But we only have Tom Izzo for a little bit of time here at the beginning, so we might as well get back to Tom. You talked about Michigan State, Michigan. This is a big one. We know this means a lot to so many different people, but 43 times around with this one. What does Michigan State, Michigan mean to you?
Well, it means the Hatfield and the McCoys, you know. It's, some of our goofy media I was
caught a stray.
They always ask me, well, how do you feel about Michigan? And I always answer them, how do you feel about your wife's ex-boyfriend? Yeah. You gonna like the guy or what? But respect them. I mean, but this is it's special, and I think Jonathan already knows part of it. And I didn't come tonight to be on this. I'll be honest with you. I came tonight because I want to remind people that 29 years ago or 28 years ago, it was year 3, and I lost to Detroit in Central Michigan, and the natives were a little restless, and I understood it. My wife had me sleep in the garage, and but I, things got turned around, and I say this, it's boy, I've had a game like we've had one game of. I've had many of those, and I just I hope that all of us do what we're supposed to do, and that's Saturday. Be the best home court advantage. We won, I think it was 54 straight games at home at one time, and I always said our fans won at least 10 of those 54. Sometimes the team doesn't play as well. Sometimes we need a little help too, and that's what I hope we do this week, because I did it in an era that was normal. This era is not normal to try to rebuild the program. I mean, everybody thinks because of the portal it's easier. I told Jonathan this morning, and until you get your culture right, it doesn't matter who you bring in. It's hard. And you played. I watched you play too. I've been here long enough. Did your dad play? I watched him. Yes, he did. No, but it's we all go through it. It's part of the process. And I swear, I don't know about you, Jonathan, but every day I tell my players, you've got to embrace the process. It takes time. You got to embrace the process. And anything that's quick fix is probably not long lasting. And so the process takes time. And in that stretch that last year for me, I remember going to Wisconsin, and I swear to God, there was 7 minutes left in the half. And the score, this is a basketball game, was 7-0. And I had nothing. And I looked at my assistant. I could feel the sweat. I said, this is going to be an NCAA record, 0 points at halftime, And so because of that, I just have a great appreciation for what coaches go through. And you know what? Things turn around too, That's what rivalry games are for. They're the, you said the focus is off the charts. You remember when you played, there's nothing like a locker room at this time of year, right? Mm-hmm. It's like sacred ground, and so I'm all in, man. We're gonna be there with bells on. We're practicing early that morning because I want to even build a tailgate or something. Not drink, but tailgate.
Well, that's pretty cool. And before we end up getting to a break, Jonathan, look, a lot of people are really thankful and grateful to have somebody like Tom Izzo around here at Michigan State, whether it's fans, whether it's administrators, whoever it might be. For you to have a coach like Tom Izzo come support and be here tonight.
Yeah, it means a ton. It really does. Obviously, a Hall of Fame career, really, the spokesman for the place, Michigan State, and represented such a way. And especially in this day and age, I'll think of considerations here of often, it's not oftentimes football coaches, basketball coaches, they're not getting along, right? All of a sudden we got to be sharing resources, sharing attention, maybe to that extent for him to come out here and spend a little time with us and speak to, some of the things we're continuing to work on. It means a lot, Coach.
That's pretty special stuff. Give a nice applause there for Tom Izzo.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Jumping on by.
He's in the stands now.
Yeah, he's heading out and he's going to enjoy this one with the spectators. When you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local teams across the Midwest, from big league stadiums to the neighborhood ball field. Learn more at Meijer.com/community. When we come back, we're going to be talking a little bit about the previous weekend and what happened in Bloomington, Indiana. This is the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance here on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Spartans, when it's game time, it's One North time. Just minutes from Michigan State University, One North Kitchen and Bar is your go-to spot for scratch cooking and world-class hospitality. When you're celebrating a win or catching up with friends, we've got the perfect dish to make every moment special. Join us for the MSU Coaches Show and get closer to the action with the voices that bring Spartan spirit to life. Visit One North Kitchen and Bar, where Spartan pride meets memorable meals.
Experiencing a Spartans game is a lot like life. We honor traditions. We shed tears for a loss, but also for a win. And every time we step on the field, it's a chance for greatness. Farm Bureau Insurance sees the connection and is a proud supporter of Michigan State athletics. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
Labatt and Game Day, the perfect combo for football, friends, and a little friendly fire.
Nice jersey. Guess they were out of adult sizes.
Labatt is the beer that's there for every good-natured jab, every ridiculous comeback, because with friends, roasting each other is just another way to say,
You're an idiot, but I love you.
Labatt, brewed for the roast. Always enjoy responsibly.
Welcome back to the Coach Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Hey, Spartan fans, Abbott and the Big Ten are back with the We Give Blood Drive. Show up to donate blood to help your school win $1 million for the student or community health. Score a limited edition Michigan State tee and save lives. Go to big10.org/Abbott to get in the game. All right, we mentioned we're going to talk a little bit about Michigan State dropping down in Bloomington, Indiana this past weekend, but the best way to get into it is by checking out now our Spartan Player of the Week. Tonight's Michigan State Player of the Week is number 2, Aiden Childs. The junior quarterback from Long Beach, California, put his name into the record books and caught fire by completing 20 straight passes against the Hoosiers, which included this touchdown dart to Nick Marsh.
3rd and 9 at the 15-yard line of Indiana. Frazier off the right shoulder of Aiden Childs. Shotgun snap to Childs over the middle. Caught by Nick Marsh at the 5. Turns into the end zone. Touchdown, MSU. The Spartans put 6 on the board against the Hoosiers here in Bloomington.
Aiden Childs' streak of 20 straight completions is tied for second all-time in a Big Ten football game in history, behind only Chuck Long's 22 against the Hoosiers in 1984. Childs also tallied a new career high, completing 82% of his passes, and on the ground added a new career high with a 64-yard rush. All of this makes your Michigan State Player of the Week, Aiden Childs. There you have it, Aiden Childs, the Player of the Week. I mean, that's remarkable. 20 straight completions. Was there a moment where you started to recognize, oh, there's a real momentum and rhythm with him?
Yeah, I definitely thought there was plenty of the game that he was in rhythm, and that's a facet of all 11 guys doing their job. Some of that's protection, route running. We did go into the game want to have some possession pass in regards to them, their zone coverage and things, but Aiden was accurate, going to the right spots. Even looking at the first half, a couple of possessions with points needed to continue to go in the second half, and we didn't on the scoreboard. But looking at him throwing the ball, he was really efficient most of the day.
Yeah, Coach, like defensively, obviously, I was at the game listening or watching. I was trying to be in the background scenes, so I didn't get into a scuffle a little bit with the Indiana folks. But from a defensive standpoint, it's tough where, offense is getting that momentum, and the defense is tough to even get, comparison of equal 3 and outs so we can get off the field and get the ball back to Aiden's hands. But talk about defensively, we had some momentum, but, we kind of staled a little bit in one of those quarters. Yeah,
we had opportunities to get off the field, especially I think about that first half. We got them into a couple 3rd and longs where they converted. We got to find a way to get off the field on 3rd down. Our tackling was not up to par. Let's face it. They got one-on-one tackles and some space that we did not make the tackle, so it created explosive plays. And again, I always want to give that's a good offense. There's no question the quarterback's playing at a high level, but we got to find ways to make it harder on them. And it wasn't, especially at the end of the half. Things 14-10. They've got a drive going. If we can find a way to get a stop there going to halftime 14-10, but the momentum definitely flipped at the end of the half to make it at 21-10.
Well, and you talk about that offense. I don't know if this was caught by everybody, but that first half, Michigan State had 21 minutes of time of possession. Yeah. Indiana just 9. I mean, you're on the road at a number 3 team. The way that you were able to control the ball, that seemed to be a real positive.
Yeah, and that was a little strategy going in, right, to possess the ball and be efficient offensively, to keep the ball out of their hands, and that was executed. But again, at the end of the day, it comes down to points, and we got to find ways to get off the field, especially on 3rd down.
Well, and 2, if we mention here, one of the things that I'm not sure everybody else is quite aware of as well, we've played 7 games to date, folks. 6 of those games, Michigan State on the opening drive has went down and scored. 5 of the times it had been a touchdown. This last time it was a field goal. But that opening drive, you and Brian Lindgren and this staff has something going with that first series.
Yeah, I think you can give credit to the players in regards to the preparation and things and being ready to go from the jump. Obviously, we want to continue that. Please, this one we got a field goal. They got the ball and turned it into 7, and we answered that back, turned it into 10-7, and so back-to-back drive offensively. We're pleased, but again, it goes back to playing some team football. And again, offensively, we ended up with 13 total points. That's not going to win many games, so it's not like just the offense is fine and we got to fix the defense. But defensively, we got to find some ways to, get them stopped, to swing the momentum and play team football for 60 minutes.
Yeah, Coach. When you look at some of the unsung heroes, the younger guys, who are you looking to see take a next step, obviously, from last week into this week?
Yeah, in particular, I think about young, true freshman Aiden West out there. He is a good player, continues to work, put him on a stage against a really good opponent. It didn't go his way on a couple snaps, especially in the second half, but I was kind of curious to see how his response would look like on Sunday and then through this week of work. He's been back at it. We got a ton of confidence in him and in the type of player and person he is. So you think about a young player, it has not gone all perfect. He's made some good plays this year already. Didn't go perfect on Saturday. I expect him to bounce back this weekend for sure.
Look, we got to hear at the top what Tom Izzo felt about the rivalry, but we didn't get to check in with you, Otis.
Look, I don't know if this is not an R-rated establishment here. So, I absolutely, people don't realize, there's HATE in my blood. I get boiled down to, I definitely need to run, work out maybe twice a day just to get the aggression out. But growing up in this, my aunt played basketball in Michigan. And so growing up, you have an opportunity to go play for him, but, I'm from Flint. So, it's almost, it's against the rules almost to go down and play for them. So coming here, I grew up knowing this is the place where in the playground to anybody in schools as you're a kid, you're fighting tooth and nail with this great divide of the great state of the rivalry. So just seeing the players take that into it when I got here my freshman year, it was true and true with the Lloyd Carr team. It was battles. No matter what the record was, it was mano a mano. Everyone has to lace up their bootstraps and play the game. So we gave them our best. We should have, honestly, I should have been 3-1, but, ended up 2008. We took that win out in the big house, and it was great. So,
look, I don't know if everybody can quite see, but it feels like Otis is vibrating.
Oh, yeah, you see me? I'm like, I don't know what to do with my hands. I just want to stand and walk,
start pacing back and forth. Well, I tell you somebody else who's from the state that knows this rivalry pretty well, Alex VanSumeren. When we come back from the break, Alex is going to be joining us here on stage. We are live from Lansing with the head coach of the Spartans, Jonathan Smith. Our show is presented by Auto Owners Insurance. You're listening to The Jonathan Smith Show.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Tired of old school hiring headaches, endless interviews, rigid schedules? The future of work is here, and it's called WorkShift. We match businesses with pre-screened, ready-to-go workers and handle payroll and compliance for you. Need more help today? Less tomorrow? With WorkShift, your workforce scales as quickly as your business does. Visit WorkShift.com to discover the future of work. WorkShift, proud sponsor of Michigan State Athletics.
At the Capital Region International Airport, we connect our community to the world with nonstop flights to Washington, D.C. and Chicago on American Airlines, Detroit on Delta Airlines, and Orlando, Fort Myers, and Tampa on Breeze Airways. When you fly Lansing, you're just one stop away from over 500 global destinations. And with direct flights to Cancun, Punta Cana, and Los Cabos from January through April, your escape to beautiful tropical beaches is easier than ever. The Capital Region International Airport, your gateway to the world. Visit flylansing.com for more information and to book your flight today.
Labatt and Game Day, the perfect combo for football, friends, and a little friendly fire.
Nice jersey. Guess they were out of adult sizes.
Labatt is the beer that's there for every good-natured jab, every ridiculous comeback, because with friends, roasting each other is just another way to say,
"You're an idiot, but I love you."
Labatt, brewed for the roast. Always enjoy responsibly.
We are back live on the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Starting this season, folks, One North Kitchen and Bar is your game day location for away game watch parties. Join us to watch Spartan football and then listen to the game day radio hosts as they break down the game. Been enjoying doing that so far. And as J.U. Colcrick always says with the card, drink so cold, you're going to need a glove.
You need a glove. Oh, God.
Even when he's not here, we still feel his presence. It's time now for our Alumni Hall trivia. Today's winner will receive tickets to the next home game and a $25 gift card to Alumni Hall. Our question today, with Michigan State and Michigan meeting this weekend, we're celebrating the 10-year anniversary of Trouble with the Snap. Now, I got a nice reaction, right?
Yeah.
We all know Jalen Watts-Jackson. Alex is excited. We'll get to Alex in a moment. We all know Jalen Watts-Jackson scored the game-winning touchdown. But who was the first Spartan to make contact with Michigan punter Blake O'Neill to send the ball loose? Who was the first Spartan to make contact? Do you know it?
Oh, I know it, yeah.
Okay.
I know it.
Well, you can't answer.
I'm not going to say I'm not going to answer, but I do know it.
But if you think you have the answer, come up to the mic and we'll get your guess here during the segment. But real quick, let's now go ahead and welcome onto the stage number 91 in your programs, Alex VanSumeren. Alex, how we doing?
Doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Alex, by the way, grew up in Bay City, Michigan.
Bay City's finest.
He knows what it's like here. He's played at Michigan State. His brother, Ben VanSumeren, played at Michigan State. Also started his career, though, at Michigan. So I'm curious if you could take us through the rivalry in the VanSumeren household, how it's gotten to the point where it is today.
Yeah, just being from this state, this rivalry means everything. Being in this green and white. This game isn't for us players. It's for the former players, the former Spartan Dogs. Every single alumni, anyone that's been involved with Michigan State, this is for them. We're going to go out and we're going to give everything we got and more. We're going to go get the job done.
Yeah, Alex, you're obviously from Bay City, and I know there's a great divide of, the team down the road fans, alums, and then obviously Michigan State. What was that first moment in time you personally as a kid realizing like, yeah, this is a true state of rival roar?
In school, when you go to school, they got everyone's one color. They're either blue or they're green. And then you have friends that you start, beefing with and having trouble with if they're not on the team that you like. And, it starts from a young age. And to be able to, go out, this Saturday and, represent Michigan State and represent, my home state, who wins this game is they run the state. So, it's a blessing and it's a great opportunity.
Absolutely. We have out of state guys on the team. And so welcoming into this tradition and this rival, what are you telling them message wise, just from a personal experience of how to take this game serious?
Right. I think we've done a great job. Just college football in general these days, a lot of transfers, a lot of out of state guys. We started this process of teaching guys a rivalry in fall camp in August and July. So the message is through. Guys know what this game's about. It's a bring your lunch pail to work type of game, double mouthpiece game. And, we wouldn't want it any other way.
Jonathan, you had mentioned during your press conference earlier this week that it doesn't matter if it's June, December, October, every conversation you have, there's this common theme where this game kind of gets brought up. To have somebody like Alex VanSumeren leading the way in your locker room that has lived it day in, day out for years and years in his whole life, how valuable is that?
Yeah, it's a huge value, and Alex mentioned it. We approached this topic really early, well before this week, and actually he was leading that group, speaking to the team, had some team, other people come in that had experience of this, come from the state all the way back to late July when we started, and so we feel confidently that this team is understanding of the importance of this game, the energy and hatred of this game. And so it's been great to have Alex leading the way because he's lived it from this state, and then obviously been here multiple years, and then what it's going to take to be able to play how we want to play on Saturday night.
Back in 2021, you were a commit, right, Alex?
Yes,
during
sir.
that time, were you at that game for Michigan State, Michigan?
I was at the game.
Kenneth Walker III runs for 5 touchdowns against the Michigan Wolverines. If that doesn't solidify the commitment on the spot, what does?
That was an unreal atmosphere. That was the most insane atmosphere I've ever been in. Just being in the stands, being able to, be a spectator of that and see, wow, envision myself doing that. And to have that now come Saturday, a few days away, I'm fired up. So,
Alex, for the hunters in the room, this is hunting season, like deer season, right? But you get to hunt on Saturday with another in-state quarterback, freshman-wise. Talk about your personal goals and how you're going to attack it, but also your defensive mindset of the team defense standpoint, how you're going to attack and hunt this Saturday.
Speaking of bow season, my pops, he just texted me he got a nice buck.
Ooh, how many points? How many points?
He was out in the woods.
That's awesome.
8 points.
8 point. All right. So we got some meat for the season, right?
Yeah, great finisher. They got a good offense. They got a good team. They got a good quarterback. It's nothing we're not ready for. They like to run the ball. It's going to be a physical game. We're ready to stop the run. We're ready to dominate. And we're going to do what it takes to win the game.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
I was going to say, Otis again animated here on stage, feeling it.
Let's go.
But Alex had mentioned at the beginning of this segment that this one's about the former players. Otis, obviously a former player, but you've had some former players come back and talk to you and the team. What is the messaging from the alums and the guys who used to wear the green and white to you who get this opportunity on Saturday?
Just hearing them speak about it, they have so much pride, in the university and towards that game. I mean, they're coming in and talking about how they wish that they had one more opportunity, one more crack at these guys, that they could go out there Saturday. So just hearing that and being able to realize the opportunity that we have in front of us and to take none of it for granted and to just go out there and cut it loose, let it all rip.
Yeah, this game is all the hype. There's going to be a lot of sudden changes.
Right.
As a defense, we obviously being a defensive back, sudden changes, we have amnesia where it's always the next play. But how are you going to overcome big plays and obviously to get it back to the real bulk of this game? Is like it's a game of inches, right? But like, how are you going to attack that when it comes to the sudden changes?
They're going to make plays. We're going to make plays. It's nothing new. I mean, we realize the implications of this game, but it's still go out there and do your job. It's still the same thing that it's been 7 or 8 games in, however games we already had. It's the same thing. You got to go out and you have to execute. And the team that's going to execute the best is going to win. So.
That's some wise words from number 91, Alex VanSumeren. Everybody give him a big thank you for swinging by here. Alex, thank you. Really appreciate it. Before we get to break, I believe we actually have a guest for our trivia as we're getting fired up here in East Lansing. Yeah. But we do have a guest for the trivia. Again, for the audience listening along, we're asking you, who was the first Spartan to make contact with Michigan punter Blake O'Neill in the trouble with the snap play 10 years ago? Why don't you give us your name, where you're from?
Barbie from Lansing.
Okay, and your guess?
Grayson Miller.
It is Grayson Miller. Excellent job. Good job. Great work there. Matt Morrissey was in on the play. Yeah. Andrew Dow was on the play, but Grayson was the first one to touch, Otis.
Yeah, Grayson's working for the Spartan Fund, man, so he's doing some good stuff here. But, you know, I definitely remember being in Dallas with the DFW Spartans. I was living in Dallas working at SMU, and I'm at the bar with a bunch of people, and I definitely did the Kevin Garnett, anything's possible before the snap. And lo and behold, you see the trouble with the snap, and like it's just get to the end zone, get to the end zone, get to the end zone. And you know, he took one for the team and broke his hip, but he's in the books forever. So it's a great ending to that game. But that's the best one ending in college football history.
No, I think so too. It really was phenomenal. We'll be talking a little bit about that later on in the program as well. We'll be back with more from the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. You're on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
From the biggest of the big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go. Go!
Run, James!
No. First base!
Go, go, go!
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. It starts with our team and people like you. University of Michigan Health Sparrow is hiring for a wide variety of roles at all experience levels. Unlock your potential and discover a fulfilling career at one of our award-winning hospitals and health centers. We make a difference every day, together. Join us at careers.ufmhealthsparrow.org.
Hey, Michigan State Spartans, ready to one-up your rivals off the field? Abbott and the Big Ten are back with the We Give Blood Drive. By showing up to donate blood, you can help your school win $1 million for student or community health, score a limited edition home field designed Michigan State Spartans t-shirt, and most importantly, save lives. Go to bigten.org/Abbott to find a donation location and put Michigan State in the lead.
Thanks for joining us for the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. We're here live from One North Kitchen and Bar, East Lansing, for all the Spartan Coaches radio shows. One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. Again, I'm Dalton Shetler filling in for George Blaha. We have Otis Wiley filling in for J.U. Colcrick, and we still have head coach Jonathan Smith here on the Jonathan Smith Show. By the way, Otis just was giving us the recount of where he was 10 years ago for trouble to snap. Jonathan, where were you? You have to remember a classic finish like that.
Yeah, I definitely remember that game and watching highlights of it. 10 years ago, I would have been in Seattle, Washington coaching at the time, but that's something nationally everyone took notice of a game like that. And then being able to be here now the last couple of years, hearing the stories about it, meeting the people that were involved in the thing, obviously a huge, meaningful play, not just in Michigan, but across the country.
Yeah, coach, as a coach, in that situation, if you're in that situation, What are you what are you doing from an offensive standpoint?
Yeah,
because clearly you left some time on the clock and trying to punt the ball. But talk about that as a coach.
They're actually, the way you look at it as a coach is, schematically, what do you want to do fourth down with that limited amount of time, right? Do you run a play? Do you throw the ball deep and try to run some clock? But then again, you leave it for field goal range like that. You've seen a couple of games this year already, people taking safety. So there's some strategy and thought process going into situations like that, because you don't got a bunch of time when these situations arise. Now, I mean, that play clock's going to go. You might have a timeout, but you got to have these things prepared for and well thought out.
Definitely.
Well, we'll preview this game a little bit here, but this is the 118th meeting between Michigan State and Michigan. The Spartans looking for their 11th win out of the last 18 meetings. But Jonathan, I want to ask you, as somebody who played and coached in an in-state rivalry at Oregon State, used to have the moniker Civil War between Oregon and Oregon State. There's a dynamic with an in-state rivalry. What is maybe similar or different about this one here in Michigan?
Well, I mean, similar in regards to any emotional game that's going to take place. You want that emotion to fuel your preparation and fuel your performance, but not go beyond, I thought, Courtney Hawkins spoke to the team yesterday, Spartan Dog, and he did a great job because he started kind of as the coach and then turned into the former player. Anyhow, he was talking about, using that fuel and energy for the physicality we want to play with, the emotion we want to play with, but not getting too emotional, not turning, 1st and 10 into 1st and 25, things of that nature. And so that's, always a huge part from a coaching end when you play in these emotional games.
Definitely. Coach, I look at just the body of work for our season thus far. And I'm looking at, in the crowd, but also Spartan fans. We are a force to be reckoned with if we put 4 quarters together. So talk about that for a second.
I think that's a true statement in regards to we have shown, and it just has not been long enough for 60 minutes, especially the last few games, that we've shown in all 3 phases that, we can do some real stuff. We highlighted the quarterback even to start this thing and what his capabilities are in our passing game. Nick Marsh and others can continue to contribute. And I think we've seen flashes of that, 2-3 quarters of that. We need to put that thing to 4 quarters. Same thing defensively. We have shown that we can affect the passer better early on in the year. We weren't doing that. We've gotten around the passer more. We got to get guys on the ground. We got to play better third down defense and then put those 2 pieces together for 60 minutes. Highlight the special team side. I thought we were, starting out the year first, really 4 games. Elite, punting the ball, flipping the field position, Eckley, all of that. We got to get back to doing that because that's gone away the last couple of weeks. We put the whole thing together. Yeah, I'm really damn confident we can get some things done.
Well, yeah, we're fired up, getting ready for this one. Well, let's take that framework and apply it to this Saturday specifically, Jonathan, because Michigan comes in with a good rushing attack. Justice Haynes, their back, averages about 118 yards per game on the ground. Defensively, though, they've created 11 turnovers so far this season, and they're 17th in scoring defense. So how do you handle Michigan specifically in this one?
Yeah, I think it was good we had Alex here because I do think this whole thing starts up front. The line of scrimmage for whoever's possessing the ball in the opponent defense. I mean, the line of scrimmage has been critically important of establishing that, to be able to run the ball. They want to run the ball. Already made mention. I think they live a lot offensively off that run game. So we got to do a great job up front. Both quarterbacks, you look at their athleticism, you got to account for those guys in the run game, either side you're talking. And so it's going to come a lot down to physicality, the line of scrimmage, make a huge difference in this one.
It's certainly one we're getting ready for and certainly looking forward to. And to talk a little bit more about it, we're going to be joined here by one of the captains in a couple of moments, Jordan Hall. But until then, the Jonathan Smith Show is presented by Auto Owners Insurance. And we'll be back with more after a break here on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Mind your business, Billy.
Hey, Spartan fans! It's college football season, and SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Hail Marys and walk-on heroes. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be part of all the action this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to MSU football games or to any other live event in East Lansing, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of MSU football. Let's go Spartans! SeatGeek.
There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. It starts with our team and people like you. University of Michigan Health Sparrow is hiring for a wide variety of roles at all experience levels. Unlock your potential and discover a fulfilling career at one of our award-winning hospitals and health centers. We make a difference every day, together. Join us at careers.ufmhealthsparrow.org.
Spartan fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes these moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is the official beer of Michigan State Athletics. So crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer.
I think they're looking to try to acquire some business, so he's like, he had to do it this week. So, yeah.
Auto Owners Insurance presents the Jonathan Smith Show. Even Sparty knows everyone needs a timeout every now and then, so why not take yours at the beach? Myrtle Beach is home to 60 miles of warm, sandy beaches, over 2,000 restaurants, and much more. Enter now for your chance to win your very own beach break getaway. Compliments of Visit Myrtle Beach. Go to visitmyrtlebeach.com/MSU to enter. Your ultimate beach break is just a click away. All right, give a nice warm welcome to the junior number 5 from Fredericksburg, Virginia, Jordan Hall. Jordan, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
One of the captains in the green and white. You've had a chance at this week. You know what this week's all about. This is one that we've been talking about for some time. It's exciting when you get to this week.
Yeah, for sure. We've been talking about this game since fall camp and just what this rivalry means. So this whole week of preparation has been great, energetic. Looking forward to Saturday.
Yeah, Jordan, former captain to current captain, man. How are you approaching this, being, a year under your belt, playing against them, actively, but how you approach this, but also with your teammates?
Yeah, just with the focused mindset and having energy. That's been something the captains kind of talked about that we wanted to lean on for these next for the entirety of the season, is just having energy, being able to fight back during adverse times, which is going to be huge going into this game.
Yeah. As a linebacker, I know you like to see ball, eat ball when it comes to run the run game. And they have a rushing attack that, is a force to be reckoned with. But, you being a leader of this defense, how are you approaching it? What's your goals personally to attack that and stop that run?
Yeah, they have a good front seven. But, I'll take our front seven against anybody in the country. And that's just how confident I am in my abilities and the guys that I have surrounding me. But yeah, like I said, they have a good front seven, but we're gonna just do our jobs. That's the main goal going into the game. Is just don't get out leveraged in your gap and just do your job every play.
It feels like death taxes Jordan Hall leading the green and white in tackles after every single game. He's got 51 tackles so far this season. That is tied for 11th most in the Big Ten Conference as well. What's went so well into your individual play where you've been able to log so many tackles this year?
Yeah, just preparation throughout the week, whether that's in film study, practice, reps that I'm in, or just watching, just harping on different things, and just being dialed into the game plan, what offenses like to do, and what our game plan is going into that week of, where they like to run the ball, some of their formations where you might get certain plays, and just harping on those things throughout the week.
Yeah, Jordan, you had an opportunity this missions trip to South Africa. I too had that opportunity in 2011, and tell Spartan Nation about the experience of going out there for a week and Johannesburg and having a great time, but more so pouring into the families there, living there. But talk about that experience and how it molded you to prepare for this season and what you're doing today.
Yeah, funny that it's through Athletes in Action, which is a crew sports ministry at Michigan State. I actually jetted out. We had our football Bible study tonight, so I'm heading right back there after I leave here. But yeah, I was introduced to that my sophomore year And it's just been so great seeing how Jesus has really changed my life. You know, a lot of my identity was put into football and who I was. But as I've grown and learned, you know, football isn't who I am. It's just something that I do. I'm first and foremost a child of God, and I've just been given this tool to go out and glorify him. And so that mission trip to South Africa was, you know, I tell all of our young guys who I've introduced to AIA, like, this is a must do that you have to do. Being exposed to a different way of life, you know, all the way across the country. But one thing that's constant is Jesus, and God is everywhere. And we saw that going out there, and it gave me a sense of gratitude, it kind of heightened my purpose of why I love playing football and just glorifying Jesus' name.
Amen to that.
Yeah, no kidding. Look, spring break, usually people talk Nashville or whatever, and this young man is going on a ministry trip. How cool is that? Really special for Jordan Hall. Not the only trip he's been on. Jonathan, you took him out to Las Vegas.
Yeah, I just listened to him thinking about
Vegas a little bit. Big Ten Media Days. Let's clarify.
Tough transition from a mission trip than to be talking about Vegas. But I will say, how proud are we not for him to be representing us as a captain and all of that? And you can see, well, and what about representing us in Las Vegas? I know this has been a minute ago. We did that in late July together. What were some takeaways from that?
Yeah, that was a great experience. First time on a private jet. So that was that was fun. But no, it was a great experience, great exposure. Representing the program the best that I can do with two other great guys, Nick and Stan.
Yeah.
You know, that was a great time out there representing the program.
You speak to a little bit. You talked about your production this year, tackles, statistics, all that. Kind of the development from last year, first year in the system, Coach Rossi, to where you are now. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it was tough last year. I thought I had a pretty decent freshman year, and kind of figured, going into my sophomore year, this is kind of going to be my thing. But with Coach Rossi coming in, he brought in JT, which I love to death. But, at first, again, my identity was a lot in football, and that's who I was. And so that was a tough transition to kind of take a step back. But, Coach Rossi talked to me, and he was like, I think that you can be a really good linebacker, but I don't think that you're that right now. But I think that, you keep working on these things. We can develop you into a pretty good linebacker, a linebacker that, wreaks havoc in the Big Ten. And so I took those coaching points with a grain of salt, obviously. Right. But I did, and I attacked those things throughout spring ball, throughout fall camp, and really worked on just improving and developing. And I feel like it's been a lot of the calls for my production this year.
Well, Jordan, I want to ask you that because, we talked about it at the top of the program when Tom Izzo was up here. It's a different day and age in college sports, and the transfer portal is a real thing, and a lot of people hear that. They take it with a grain of salt, and they also hit the door. But you decided to stay at Michigan State. You're a Spartan for life. Why?
Yeah, and honestly, I just got a calling from God just to stay here. This is a place where I feel like I could grow, especially with the conversation that I had with Coach Rossi. As a football player, as a man, and spiritually. And I think I've seen all those things come to fruition in this last year and worked out for the better. There's no telling what situation I would be in right now if I decided to, hop in the portal and go elsewhere. But it's been working out really well, and I'm so grateful for this position and opportunity that I'm in, and I honestly wouldn't have it any other way.
And we're glad to have him, aren't we? How about it? Well, Jordan, stick around for one more segment. We'll keep you here, and we'll get to you right after the break. We're live with the head coach of the Spartans, Jonathan Smith. Tonight's show is presented by Auto Owners Insurance. You're listening to The Jonathan Smith Show.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
SeatGeek.
There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. It starts with our team and people like you. University of Michigan Health Sparrow is hiring for a wide variety of roles at all experience levels. Unlock your potential and discover a fulfilling career at one of our award-winning hospitals and health centers. We make a difference every day, together. Join us at careers.ufmhealthsparrow.org.
From the biggest of the big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go. Go! Run, James! No, first base! Go, go, go!
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
Spartan fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes these moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is the official beer of Michigan State Athletics. So crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer.
We are back with more Spartan football here on the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Spartan fans, carry the only colors in your wallet with an MSU FCU Visa credit card featuring the iconic Spartan helmet. Earn cash back on every purchase and show your pride with every swipe. Visit MSUFCU.org today. MSU Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of Spartan Athletics. All right, folks, we're up against the time-wise, so we do have Jordan Hall for another moment. But, Jonathan, I know you had a question for Jordan.
I'd be curious, Jordan, your takeaways. The last 2 days, Spartan Dog legends really come in and speak to the team, about 4 of them. Any larger takeaways you've had from hearing those guys the last couple of days?
Yeah, just the importance and the history of this game. And, that's something that, the captains kind of brought to you after last season, where we felt like that's something that, needs to be exemplified throughout the whole course of the season. I think bringing in, really Spartan legends to come in and talk to us and really speak of the importance of this game and what this means, not only to us. It's really small to us when you look at it in the grand scheme, but it's more so for everybody, for the fans, for the alumni, for past players and coaches. It's a bigger game for them because, a lot of guys, I know, like Duck had said today, he's going to be watching the game with his helmet on. You know what I mean? It means
that much. Let's do it.
And honestly, and we feel that from the guys that he's brought in and come and speak to us, we really feel how much of an impact this game means to the community, not just us.
Definitely. And I can't be remiss because your Mama Hall will probably, when I see her Saturday, she'll be upset if I didn't, obviously address this. But, obviously you and your mother are very close. And I know you draw a lot of, I say energy, but also just, development from your mother. But talk about how you play for a bigger picture, but also how your mom has been a vital point in your life as a young man, but also as growing into a man.
Yeah, I was on this podcast not too long ago, and I told him, I said, my mom has probably been the best coach that I've ever had as long as I've played football, and has nothing to do with football, just in life and just how she carries herself. And how she provided, which just gives me so much motivation every day, just in the way that she raised 3 kids by herself, working 2 jobs, continues to work 2 jobs with some side hustle. She's in the knitting now. Yeah. She's been making blankets, and somehow she made a pumpkin. I don't know how she did that, but she's into that right now. But just so inspired by just her work ethic. And her perseverance throughout me growing up.
And she's one of the best supporters as well, starting a social media movement, Michigan State Football, I Believe. Make sure you ride those coattails as well, everybody. You have a nice warm thank you to Jordan Hall. Jordan, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we'll be back here in just a moment to hear more from Coach Smith. You are on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Hey, Michigan State Spartans, ready to one-up your rivals off the field? Abbott and the Big Ten are back with the We Give Blood Drive. By showing up to donate blood, you can help your school win $1 million for student or community health, score a limited edition home field designed Michigan State Spartans t-shirt, and most importantly, save lives. Go to bigten.org/Abbott to find a donation location and put Michigan State in the lead.
Thanks for joining us and the Spartan fans here at 1 North for the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. All right, as we start to wind down and get ready to head out of here in just a moment, again, Michigan State, Michigan, kicking off this Saturday. It's a 7:30 kick. We'll be taking the airs on the radio network at 6 o'clock. Hope you can join us for that. But this is a one we've been talking about for the last hour. Keys to this one, Jonathan.
Well, yeah, we kind of spoke to the line of scrimmage already. I think the most physical team wins the game, and so the physicality's got to show up. Obviously, it's a 4-quarter game, and so there's going to be momentum swings. You mentioned it already in handling those and responding to those. And again, some of this adversity can come when you take the lead, and nothing casual. And I'm not even kind of worried about our guys going that route, but knowing that these are 60-minute games and the ability to finish. And then I always think about these emotional games, rivalry games. It means the time we kind of special teams play here or there can make a difference, and let's change the game on special teams.
Definitely, we're in bout for Amari Kelly punt return
to
the house, right?
Be nice to be working and some opportunity there, and again, the vice versa. Our punt team showing up and flipping the field.
Well, we know 10 years ago, special teams certainly made a difference, as we've talked about with the trouble at the snap. But before we get out of here to Otis, as a former player, I mean, we talk about the emotions of this game. How do you handle that between the lines when you're one of the players?
Yeah, I think, you look at these excessive penalties, because of the moment. I think we obviously have to control that. But, we have nothing to lose. It's like play with reckless abandon, have fun. But we need everyone in the stands to also be in the game, not coaching, but more so supporting and going crazy in fandom. But we can control the momentum when we're in Spartan Stadium. And it's under the lights. It's nothing better. Let's go after and let's get some Wolverines for dinner.
Hey, I think we all love that, the sound of that. But certainly, as Otis mentioned, definitely getting the support, getting you all to Spartan Stadium. Saturday night, a 7:30 kick under the lights. Michigan State and Michigan for the Paul Bunyan Trophy. Some thank yous on the way out the door, and a reminder that, frankly, you want to join us for the Michigan Sports Brief every weekday on all the Spartan Sports Network affiliates, presented by Frankenmuth Insurance. Thanks to Chris Ordaway, our audio engineer, Gage Dansby working the video stream, Matt Contreras Valenzuela, our producer in the Skyview Studios. Thanks to Coach Jonathan Smith, both Alex VanSumeren and Jordan Hall. All of you here in person at 1 North and listening on the air wherever you are, thank you to all of you. And until next time, so long, go green.
You've been listening to The Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense. The Jonathan Smith Show is also brought to you by MSU FCU. Spartan fans dream big with MSU Federal Credit Union. Meyer,
supporting hundreds of sports teams across the Midwest. Coors Light, choose chill. Dean Trailways, the official ground transportation provider of Spartans Athletics and Michigan's premier motor coach company. Make Dean Trailways your favorite ride. One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. And Alumni Hall, your ultimate Spartan shopping experience. The Jonathan Smith Show has been a presentation of Playfly Sports in partnership with Michigan State Athletics. All rights reserved. Join us next time on this network station for all of the action of Michigan State Spartan football, a presentation of the Spartan Media Network.